YouTube, Ship here with a review of the Power Rangers Dino Charge Zord Armor Rangers Wave 1. So this is a line that started back in Super Megaforce and retails for $19.99. I picked these up from Amazon.com, but you can find these at Targets too. I heard they're starting to pop up every now and then. So do keep an eye on Target and Amazon if you're interested in these, but they should be popping up at Toys R Us and stuff sometime within the month or two. Now our first wave of Zord Armors includes the Deluxe Dino Charge Zord Armor Ranger and the Deluxe Mega Dino Zord Armor Ranger. They're pretty much the same mold, so if you're only looking to fiddle with one, take your pick on which color you like better. The Dino Charge is red and the Mega Dino is black. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Before we take a look at the toy, I just want to appreciate this artwork. It's just really freaking cool. Kind of looks like they're going to fight each other. Alright, so whereas the Super Megaforce Zord Armors were 4-inch scaled, these are 5-inch scaled. Now, the Zord Armors themselves aren't really any bigger than the original ones. In fact, they're pretty much the same exact size. However, they're modeled quite a bit differently. Whereas the Super Megaforce ones were basically a larger body that the 4-inch figure sat inside, these are more or less an exoskeleton sort of thing that house a 5-inch figure. Now, the ones included are basically just the bike figures that we got with the Dino Cycles. However, they are translucent, which is kind of cool. I like the fact that they did something to them to make them different, despite being the same figure. So, it kind of adds to your collection a little bit. The black one in particular looks really cool. It kind of looks like a Ghost Ranger. But I digress. We'll just go ahead and move these guys out of the way after I took that time to set them back up properly. But here we go with the Zord Armors. We're going to go ahead and start with the Dino Charge Zord Armor, the Red Rangers. Now, these are not in the show. These are strictly made for toy purposes to sell extra Zord Builder stuff to the kiddies and the people who really like Zord Builder like me. Well, I think I ultimately like the Super Megaforce Zord Builders more because they are quite a bit more solid. These are still really cool in their own right. So basically, you have the dinosaur head on each shoulder, 2 pairs of bladed drill-like arms that have little handlebars on them, which I think is probably the worst part. I don't know if you could actually take these off or not. They don't come off normally, but I think they're probably just glued in there, so with enough force you might be able to pop them out, because it probably would look a lot better with the handlebars off. There are Zord Builder ports down here on the legs, as well as up here on the shoulders. But that is about it for the Zord Builder port. So just like the Dino Charge Megazord, the Zord Armors lost a tiny bit of functionality as well. Being a big exoskeleton sort of thing, they are very lightweight and they are a little bit wobbly, which is a little bit disappointing. But I think ultimately they do look cool. I like the way that they're designed. I just wish that, like the old Zord Armors, they were a little bit more solid in their design than what we ended up getting. Now, to make use of the exoskeleton sort of design, the Ranger pretty much just sort of hops inside of it. You kind of have to put him in like this. It is a little bit easier if you take the helmet off, since it just fell off anyway. So you slide the Ranger up inside there. His legs will go down here, and there are pegs down at the bottom of the feet that go into the holes on the Ranger's feet to connect their feetsies together. I can't quite line it up properly. There we go. So now he is settled. Bring that flap down. On this side, all you're going to do is have him grip the handlebars just like so. Bend his elbows a little bit and pop that helmet back on. And you have the Zord Armor Ranger. So hooray! I dig it. The character inside there actually makes it fleshed out a little bit more. I didn't put the figures in my previous Zord Armors on display because you could barely see them. But here it really does help the look of the Zord Armor itself by having the Ranger in there. In terms of articulation with the Ranger, you can move the feet a smidge. Basically, 1 click in either direction is your limit. And with the arms, you can extend them straight out or bend them, either or. And you can get about 2 clicks of motion upwards and not even 1 backwards because the arm will get caught on the leg. But, so it does restrict the arm motions a little bit, but there isn't a huge reason why you would need to pose it like that. So this is perfectly fine. So I really do end up digging it quite a lot. So setting this guy aside and moving along to the Mega Dino armor, it's different. I like it. I like the fact that they paired the orange with the black, because one, those colors just kind of go together, but black was the first one to use the Dino Scrander power in Kyoryuger. They're going to be calling it the Dino Armor X in Dino Charge, at least according to the Charger. And that one is an orange-based weapon, so I like the fact that they color comboed those. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I do end up liking that quite a bit. You got a Parasaurolophus design going on along here. We had the T-Rex for that guy, but the Parasaur for this one. It is pretty much the same exact mold except for the shoulders and the helmet are different. Their base designs are the same, but the kind of inside of the helmet is a little bit different. Same thing applies to getting the Black Ranger in there. And of course, being the same mold, it's the same level of articulation. But again, the clear Black Ranger in there does flesh out the look of the armor quite a bit. So I'm probably going to display these with the figure, unlike the Super Megaforce ones. But overall, it is really cool. I think I ultimately like the look of the black one more. But given my love for the Tyrannosaurus Rex, I kind of lean towards the red one. But to up these a little bit from the Super Megaforce ones, because you are technically getting a less thick figure, so to speak, there is an alternative mode for these. They can both turn into dinosaur modes. Now with your Ranger removed, basically you're going to slightly dismantle it a little bit. Take off those two pieces, swing that tail around, and kind of level it just like that. You're going to take the two pieces of the dinosaur head and put them together to make a full functioning head. And then these will peg together. There's a little peg right there. And basically these are going to slot into two holes that are right there. Just like so. And there you have the dinosaur mode for the Zord armor. It's alright. It pops out quite easily if you push on the upper portion of the toy and not the bottom portion like I was trying to. You can move the legs still, so you can do that if you so wish. The head doesn't really move, however, so you're kind of stuck in this sort of position if you so choose. The hooks right here make little arms, so you can kind of get that going. Can you ride it? I don't know. I never tried this. This was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I don't think you can grip those handlebars anymore. If you have a more posable figure, the 5-inch figures might be able to actually ride it in dinosaur mode. These figures can't, because they don't have any sort of swivel in their wrists, so they can't hold on to it. But the normal 5-inch figures might actually be able to sort of hold on to the dinosaur. But you got that going, and of course the the Mega Dino Zord armor can transform as well. And there you have the Dino mode for the Mega Dino Zord armor. It's a little less convincing to me than the Tyrannosaurus one is, but it's still alright, and you can have both of them here, and they can hang out and talk, and you can reenact Dinosaur Office or something like that. But the only complaint I have is I wish there was something in here that could be reminiscent as eyes. The T-Rex has a little thingy here that could probably have been painted to reminiscent eye. But the Para one doesn't really. These panels maybe right there. I don't know. I just wish there was a little bit of paint up there to spice them up a little bit. But I do like the fact that they have a dinosaur mode. It makes it a little bit more fun for the kids. And of course there is 4 functioning Zord Builder ports on here, so you can attach other dinosaurs onto here when you start collecting more of the Dino Charge Megazord pieces, as well as all the other previously released Zords in the Zord Builder collection. Now, of course, being Zord Builder, there are Megazord modes for these things as well. Okay, just take your helmet and your body and just sort of set it aside. take these. These are going to peg together right here at the top there. So it should look just something like that. You can move the upper body one a little bit and reposition it if you want to, but this is the best way of doing it. And do the same thing on the other one. Now those Zord Builder ports do move. Actually, they're on a slight hinge, so be careful when you're attaching those. So just like that, of course you can switch those around if you so wish. But these will peg right into the arms up here to make all new arms for the Dino Charge Megazord. And then you attach the helmet, and bam, you have a new Megazord. I have no idea what you would call this thing, but it is certainly a thing. Now, the body piece here is basically an additional weapon. What they want you to do is take that peg right there and attach it onto one of the drill arms and close that up. And I don't know what it's supposed to be as I pop the arm off. Like I said, I don't know what it's supposed to be. I guess it kind of looks like a 4-shot cannon or something like that. For added effect, I just like flipping that tail down to make it kind of look like a blade. That helps a little bit too. But yeah, it's not that bad. I dig the way that it looks, especially with it being red. The red one matches the Dino Charge Megazord almost perfectly. So it works really well, and it's a cool looking robot in my humble opinion. Of course, the Para one, the Mega Dino Zord Armor, does have a Megazord mode as well. So here is the Mega Dino Charge Megazord. Sure, we'll go with that. It's definitely a burst of color. The orange and the red and the black, everything just kind of going together here. It's not bad. I think it looks a lot more crazy than the Dino Charge Zord Armor does on here, just because that one matches so well and this one doesn't. But it's a cool little change of pace, I guess. If you really like the color scheme, then this is something that you might want to add to your collection. You can flip that one down. And of course you can mix and match these if you want to go ahead and put the other helmet on, if you like that helmet better. You're like, hey, look, cool, I've matched my helmets now. Or you can take off this arm and attach the one from the T-Rex, and you have two body things attached on there, and then maybe if you so desire, you can kind of shake things up and attach the other arms down here somewhere on the legs. So outside of the additional helmet here, we can use all of the pieces of the Zord Armors to create some weird drill spiky thing of justice. Spiky Justice Megazord. We'll go with that. We can even attach the helmet. We can attach the helmet right here. There we go. Now all the pieces are used. And if you so desire, you can even pop the helmet off here and attach this helmet down here, because you're a little bit anal and you want symmetry. And then you can attach the normal helmet up there. So you can do that if you want. And I actually kind of like this. I don't know. It's probably my sense of crazy going on, but I actually kind of like this for whatever reason. It's busy. It is definitely very busy. But I really like it. Well, despite the fact that I ultimately like the original Zord Armors a little bit more, because they do feel quite a bit more solid, these are incredibly fun. The Megazord modes, the Megazord attachments, end up looking fairly decent, at least for the Dino Charge Megazord. The Mega Dino one looks a little bit weird because of the weird orange burst of color that it gives to the Megazord, but it still looks pretty cool. I like the two drill blade things that they have for arms. I just wish they were a little bit bigger, because they look way too small on the actual Megazord. The Dinosaur mode leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's a fun additional play value for kids. And the Zord Armor mode is where it really shines and really looks pretty dang cool, I think. I like the figures. They're not really painted, but they're clear, so it gives you a little bit extra something. And they're nice to sit inside of the Zord Armors to kind of flesh out the exoskeleton look a little bit more and help solidify their look on your shelf. So I do appreciate them coming with them, and I do appreciate them being translucent too. It helps differentiate them from the Cycle Rangers and give you a little bit added figure boost to your collection. So overall, for $19.99, they're not that bad. I wish they were a smidge cheaper, I think, for what you ultimately end up getting. But in terms of being a fun toy, I do think they're fun, and I think the Zord Builder possibilities for kids is definitely something that's very much priceless in this line. That is ultimately a lot of fun. So mix and match them with your previous Zord Armors, previous Megazords, and see what kind of crazy combinations you can come up with, because that is the heart of Zord Builder. And overall, I just really like them. So thanks for watching. Take care, and have a great one. Bye.